Going great. How are you this morning, Rick?
Other than the fact that my mic was just muted, I'm doing awesome. Yeah, no, things are going awesome. My entire family's sick, so it's been a bit of a morning. My eyes don't look right, but I wore a hat because I didn't have time to shower this morning. Uh, and we have a technical difficulty. We found out last night that the 6v6 race is open to anyone. So
This is why I'm playing with my phone to set my 5-minute timer so I can send everybody for the race.
Yeah, so we're doing a 5-minute delay. So if you are wondering if this race is going to start right at the correct time, it will not. We are taking a 5-minute delay, and we are going to go ahead and let everybody else go first. Anybody who joined the pens, and we apologize to the other people who joined the pens. I know it sucks if you're planning on a race and then a bunch of people sit in the pens and go later, but yeah, so it'll be a little bit different, but this is what we do here on No Breakaways. You're doing new stuff. You can encounter new challenges. Ryan, we didn't plan this. He's actually the guy who came up with this idea for these 6v6 match races. He does all the work on the back end to make these things run. So big shout out to Ryan. He's too humble to ever say that, but I'm going to say it for him while he's here. You can't tell it probably, but he's turning all red. So yeah, Ryan,
I'm also trying to organize the race itself with the racers as we're doing the broadcast.
So I tell you what, let me walk through the course, Ryan, while you're trying to do that. Originally, Ryan was going to go through the course. He's a very experienced racer. You make sure you're doing that. I'll walk through the course. I'll do the CLS power, and then we'll hop into the OTR power. All right? Okay, so today we are racing on the Champs-Élysées. I apologize to all my French or French Canadian, like people that I know, like Serge. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, at least I didn't say Champs-Élysées, so I'm getting better. It's a pretty straightforward course if you've ever raced it. Of course, looking at this course preview, there is one big feature. It is a slow, gradual hill. That is where I expect everything to happen on this race. Really trying to attack on any other part of it is tough. I wouldn't be surprised to see people maybe try to go over the top on that flat section there. You see around maybe 1.8 kilometers to 2.2. But really, it's a very straightforward course, but it should make a really cool 6v6 because there's a lot of chances for tactics on the flat and maybe trying to break away. We do have 3 laps of the course today. And as a reminder, the race is not starting in 25 seconds and starting in 5 minutes and 25 seconds. So just in case you're wondering why we're maybe wasting a little bit of time here. So now we can hop into the rider powers. This is the CLS team, a really strong group of racers. They've been awesome to work with setting this up. CLS, it stands for Central Logistics Solutions, which is the founder John Hodgson's company. They say they're made up of like-minded, enthusiastic cyclists, no big egos, and they ride only to get fitter and stronger, but really to have fun. They have a very multinational team. They have 2 Americans, one from Northern Ireland, one Dutch person, one Welsh person, and one English person. So that's super cool. Really glad to be pulling an international community in here at No Breakaways. And this is an incredibly strong team. If you look, they won the EMEA's West 2 1B, and they got 4th in the Battle Royale. So really, really strong team. If you look here, this is a very experienced group of cyclists. Breaking down the power a little bit, you see a lot of really high numbers here. Very strong group, a lot of high raw wattage. I'm going to be looking for Painter down there to really drive the pace a lot, and Uman as well. And then we have some decent sprinters up there with Banning and Shields, some pretty high numbers, 12, 13 watts per kg. Looking at their 20 minutes, those are also pretty high. So I expect this to be a really tough race. OTR is also going to give them quite a go. So let's hop over and we'll have Ryan cover the OTR power.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. I actually never knew what CLS meant. Been riding with those guys for a couple of years. So yeah, OTR on the rivet. We've got Max, Dan, or Max Szymanski, Dan Larson, King, Adams, Sorensen, and Thompson. Some of these guys I've been riding with since our days back with Dutch Diesel when I was part of that team. So guys like Dan Larson, I know he's got a really phenomenal sprint. Maybe the numbers don't tell the full story there on his. It's only a little over 10 watts per kilo, but he's amazing at timing that sprint. So I'll look for him. It looks like also King to really mix it up in the sprint. So to look for them to set up those two guys for the sprint. And then Max is a really good, as well as it looks like Adam's very good for the kind of longer, more sustained efforts. So look for those guys to kind of either try and maybe push the pace a little bit or keep it stitched together for the OTR guys. And then you got Adams and Sorensen there. Looks like maybe they haven't been doing as much racing. Just looking at their profiles here. But good, solid all-around numbers. Definitely nothing to take for granted there. So look for maybe them to throw those guys in at wild cards at different points in the race to animate it or help bring things together and keep things under control for OTR.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know these guys are in the America's East B1 division with my Draft B guys. King, I can attest to, has a gigantic sprint. He mops the floor with me one day. He probably didn't even know I was in the race. I was so far behind after that sprint. And he routinely takes some of those fastest through segments. So he's going to be one to definitely watch out for at the end. And if I'm CLS, I'm trying to drop him. So, let's go into some of the rider bios now. The race starts in about a minute and a half. This will give Ryan a chance.
80 seconds, yep.
80 seconds. He's going to have to let the field off. So this will be kind of cool. You'll get to see Ryan sending the field off and some of the complications we have with this 6v6. So number one, we have Bruce Banning, sponsored bike racer over 3 decades ago. He's a granddad to 6. And he's on the Zwift Power leaderboard for distance climbed, time, and energy. So big shout out to Bruce there. That's a big deal.
I was actually on the ride where he went over 100,000 kilometers.
Oh, man. Jeez. That's amazing. Next, we have Hugh Davies. He used to cycle on the road, crits, hill climbs, but he prefers Zwift now. His proudest achievements, still being able to do 15 proper chin-ups. That's a big deal. I know I can do about 1.5. So we got 30 seconds to go here. You see Ryan communicating up there. He has twin daughters who love to say ew when they see and smell him after Zwifting. That is a common occurrence in my house when I run around trying to give my kids hugs afterwards. So he's also the brother to Hywell Davies, I believe is how you say his name, who is one of the top ranked Zwifters in the entire game. And he says that he loves to get mistaken for his brother, and that happens right until the races start. So you see the slow roll here. I'll click over to one of the guys. Next up, we have Rob King. He's a 4-time Ironman finisher. Last time was in 2013. He's a Kona qualifier in 2003. 2:47 marathon PR. And he's currently losing hair faster than he used to run. So that I can definitely identify with. So as we see, we're doing a very slow rollout here. Guys getting together. Ryan's given the go for it. I'll keep going through the bios here. I don't expect anything to happen until we get... You can see the climb on the other side of the road. Right now, there's a very steady downhill. Next up, we have Oost Omen, I hope I'm saying that right, cycling since 2015 after playing soccer for all of his life. He's climbed Stelvio, Kitzbühler Horn, and Pico de las Neves. He also said that he is really hoping to ride all of the big climbs around Europe, Ventoux, Alpe d'Huez, all of them. So should be, he's a real climber. He's going to be one of the powerhouses in this race, really putting down a lot of watts. He's married to Chantal and father of Luke, who's 2.5 years old. And next up, we have Chris Painter. He completed a triathlon, half Ironman, one of the world's hardest. He played Danny from Greece as a teenager, and he says, "Go Grease Lightning." I was going to put a picture of John Travolta here, like that was him, but I decided that I don't know Chris well enough to do that. And he's a dad to 4 teenage daughters.
Done it anyway.
Yeah. He's a dad to 4 teenage daughters. which is maybe the most incredible achievement I've ever heard. I cannot imagine having 4 teenagers at home. So expect Chris to have a lot of resilience in this race. Next up, we have Darren Shields. His biggest sporting achievement is not being overweight considering what he eats. I have a similar sort of thing, but I am overweight considering what I eat. He's addicted to bikes, bike parts, bike clothing, and anything bike related. He said he loves to buy all that stuff. So I bet you there's a couple people who can relate to that on the broadcast. He's married to Lynn, and he has 2 kids, Jocelyn and Lewis, and they think every Zwift race or Zwift ride is a race. So
I think that's common to even the people who use Zwift.
Yeah, I was gonna say every group ride is a race. That's why they put the fence in. And so those are our riders for today on the CLS team. Unfortunately, this was my fault. I didn't have the correct timing on this race, and I screwed up getting the OTR guys' bios. So I apologize for that to the OTR crew. I'm just going to have to resize some stuff around here to get Ryan in the picture. I forgot that I had us talking down here below. So Ryan, why don't you talk to us a little bit about this race, about what's going on, and what you expect to see happen?
Yeah, so right now they're doing about what I'd expect. They haven't had a feature in the race yet that would allow the course to animate anything. So they're kind of sitting in, testing each other. It does look like we have a 6 versus 5 going on. I only see five guys from on the rivet that are in the race. So I'm not sure if there was only 5 that were able to make it, 1 guy left out, or if we had a technical issue already. So we can ask that later when we jump into the team car. But the guys that I expect to be the sprinters are doing what we expect them to do so far, and they're really trying to sit in and draft the pack, save their legs. But as we hit this course, get into this course a little further, I do anticipate as we go through the start-finish line, there is that, I wouldn't call it a steep or really an animated hill, but it is enough that these racers can try and push the pace and maybe not get a breakaway going, but definitely put somebody off the back, put them on that back foot to really maybe as they come around that roundabout at the top of the hill, if they aren't really able to get back on turns where they head back downhill, they could easily be spit off the back. So I would look for these teams on that specific section of course to really try and put people in the back or even possibly get a breakaway going in that case. So.
Yeah. And thanks to Ron Gallo on the stream mentioning Rebecca Larson is their DS. She's DS'd a lot of these for us. Her husband is racing, and when we go over there, you can actually see her in the background of his stream. And Craig Miller, who I'm on right now, he's one of their riders. He's only 19. 2019 Canada Winter Games for short track speed skating. He says he once shot a -8 on Wii Golf, which, maybe I need to bone up my skills. We can have a Wii Golf on no breakaways, Wii Golf off. And he's a volunteer Zamboni driver. Also on OTR, we have Tyler King. He says a devoted Christian husband and father. He's been cycling for 2 years, Zwifting for 1 year, and he's a Strava KOM hunter. Multi-sport athlete with dirt bikes, Ninja Warrior, football, basketball, and soccer. And the last bio I have for these for the OTR team is Dan Larson, Rebecca Larson's husband. He's an old timer. He's been racing since 1989. He has a few good wins and national medals. He's a former coach, Pro Team DS for Guyman Roskoff and his wife, Rebecca Larson. He's a professor of sports economics. He has a sports economics PhD, and he co-edited a book on the pro cycling business. So a lot of very accomplished riders here.
Yeah, I'm actually glad you mentioned Rebecca being their DS. She has been on these no breakaways races, DSing for the Dutch Diesel women's team. She's actually the original person I used to race with when I first started racing on Zwift. So she's got a ton of experience on how Zwift works, and then racing in general. She's got a lot of accolades to her name as well.
Yeah, so a really experienced field, experienced DS. Really, this race is going to be really cool. As you see him start to push this hill a little bit, not no one's going crazy. To be honest, I'm a little surprised no one is making a bit of an attack here just to probe the field a little bit, maybe to try to drop off a rider or two. You see the entire field's together.
I think Dan's giving it a go off the front.
There we go. Here we go. Uman chasing him down. I like to see these this stuff going on here. We'll take a look at the whole field here.
So something you will see on course, because we didn't get this as a closed event, you will see other riders that will be passing the course. So apologize for that, but so this rider in the stripe kit we're going by here, that is not part of the race. So.
Yeah, and thankfully, one thing, we have had a couple requests to set up some no breakaways races, and I'm going to spring it on Ryan here that hopefully we'll be able to do. We did the Tour of Andrasta in conjunction with Warrior Games, and we'd like to do some men's series races and do some cool stuff like that. Here at No Breakaways, we're all about racing, putting on some cool events. So, we're taking a little bit low key in the summer because I know, Ryan has a ton of stuff going on with his job. I have 2 little kids. They're playing soccer. They're doing all sorts of stuff. Believe it or not, my kids actually like me and want to see me occasionally, or at least that's what I tell myself. But we got big plans. We're going to be putting on some cool stuff. Ryan and I are always talking about some new formats and things we can do as the field comes back together. Ryan, why don't we hop over to the OTR car? See how everything's going for them, and see what their tactics are here.
Absolutely, let's go.
Hey, Team OTR, how's everything going?
So far, so good. We're down one body, but we're still doing good.
Yeah, so we were wondering what happened. Was it a technical?
No idea.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe they overslept. Who knows?
It happens.
Technically, we don't know.
It does. Yeah, technically we don't know.
Yeah, so looked like we saw Dan give it a little teaser off the front, kind of test the field. Is there any strategy you're willing to share with us?
He's not behaving. I might have to chuck a water bottle at him since we're in the garage together. But
so what's the plan for the race? How are you going to win this race?
Well, we've got decent sprinters when we look at the numbers, so I think kind of just keeping people protected and playing it smart. Just kind of letting these guys ride a little bit and see what happens. It's an interesting course, so we'll just kind of hopefully respond quickly to anything and just kind of have some fun there.
Sounds great. Yeah, I know. We were talking about you guys on the stream, and I know Tyler has given me quite a hard time in some of our America's B1 races. So I know you got some sprinters on the team there.
Yeah, we do. We got some good numbers, but it's nice. The other team is matched up pretty well number-wise too, so it'll be interesting how they strategize as well. It should be a fun game.
Awesome. Well, good luck. We'll be hopping back in probably on the climb to see what's going on. Ryan, let's hop over to the CLS team. Hey, CLS, how's it going, guys? So is the race playing out how you want so far?
Dottie, go for it.
Yeah, it's nice. Well, it's a very easy roll out from where I'm standing. Yeah, I think okay, so.
Yeah, so it looks like I saw you guys had a little bit of probe with OTR on that very first lap there, up their first time up the hill, and it kind of looks like for the most part everybody's willing to sit in and kind of take a technical day. Is that kind of how you guys are looking, or a tactical day? Sorry, how you guys are looking to play this a little more tactically, or are there any other strategies you're looking to kind of throw at the field here?
I think we've got some ideas, but we're just going to see how the race. We want to.
So you're cutting out a little bit, Andrew. I I'm assuming you're saying that you're going to attack full gas all the way through the race, sending guys off one after another. Is that right?
Yes, I am. It's very easy to say that from me. I'll just let the other guys deliver it. But
Yeah, absolutely. That's what a good DS should do. So do you want to wait for the sprint, or are you going to try to send somebody early?
We'll see how the guys are feeling. But as I said, I think we just want to ride with panache and try to animate this race a bit and just make it look good. And, look good, feel good is our ride philosophy. And we're looking good at the moment.
Love it. Love it. Well, good luck. We'll be hopping back in probably on the climb to hear what's going on and to hear Andrew screaming at you guys. And good luck, everybody.
Thanks, Rick.
All right, so yeah, good stuff. It'll be interesting to see. Everybody's kind of playing a little bit coy here on what they're going to do, if they're going to send anybody off.
I love it. I actually expect it.
Yeah, it's going to be a good race. I'm really excited to hear or to see what happens. Especially on a course like this, when I always feel like when I'm racing it, it's really hard for 2 or 3 minutes. And then it eases back off. And I wonder if they're going to try to make it hard on some of the parts that are normally easy.
Yeah, especially with the how small this pack is, if you can really string it out, you don't have those typical Zwift dynamics where that blob effect kind of takes over. So you can actually make these flatter sections or what we typically think is easier sections really hard. And that's what we're talking about this. It looks like CLS may be trying to animate it already.
Yeah, here they go. And we see Adams hopping on the back there, making sure nothing gets away. But there's a little bit of a gap forming here. We got a group of 4 up front with 3 CLS, 1 OTR.
Yep. And it does look like we have 1 OTR kind of trying to stitch it together. Although we do have a kind of a group of 4 that they don't jump on it quick. They maybe put on the back pedal really early.
So if you're OTR, are you going to tack over the top on this climb? Try to come back over?
I absolutely would, because if they really spent a bunch of matches right there, even just put a little shock in the legs, trying to animate the race, coming over the top would put me on a back burner. So I would definitely try to do that if I was OTR.
So let's hop in the OTR Discord again. We'll just listen in to what's going on.
Might be rolling up on something. Since they're kind of rolling at the front pretty hard. Yeah, we're doing it at the top before we do that shenanigan. But it does look like they have one guy going a little hard. Scott, if we can slowly roll up on him. Yeah, we're good. We're good. It's a long way to go for somebody. They're chasing their own guys down, so keep an eye on it. This could be good for what we're attempting to do. If they roll hard, we can give a little bit of a launch. Scott, Max, how you doing?
Tired.
Okay. Nice job, guys. If you have your feather, dump it now, or if you don't have an arrow. Looking good, guys. Hang in there. Tyler, don't panic. Stay on. Just roll with Max. Good job. Nice job, Scott. Just let him pull. Hang on to him. Good job, guys. This is hurting everybody. Quit rolling, guys. Nice job. you have your power up, go ahead and dump it if it's not the one we want. Good job. Max, come on, get ready. Scott, you're already up there. Make sure to follow when they come through. Okay, right now, everybody, those three go. Come on. 1 to 8 to 10. Come on, up, and then roll it. Come on. Nice job. Keep it rolling. Max is there. Scott is there. Nice job. Come on. Really put a little bit of something to him. Good job. Tyler and Craig, make sure you're in there toward the front, not on the front. Nice job. Follow the wheels. Nice job, guys. Be prepared to see if they counter this. Make sure we have somebody watching it. Nice job.
All right, so there we go. Some interesting tactics there. I'm not quite sure what Rebecca was talking about. Ryan, what did you think
So
there?
it sounded like they were trying to follow their CLS's move up the hill, and then made the attempt. I think Rebecca wanted them to counter over the top, but the legs are shot on they were pushing as hard as CLS was there. So I think the attempt was there, but the execution wasn't quite as flawless as they would have liked to be able to attack over the top. But
Yeah, well,
that happens. And when you're pushing hard, it's not always easy to do what you want to.
Yeah, and I think one of the things about these Zwift avatars is that it doesn't show how much pain, which is what I really like about when we're able to hop in the team cars, see those videos. You're able to see these people are suffering on the other side. It's not all fun and games like you imagine, like Chris Froome having a real easy go.
Yeah. So I mean, you saw the initial kind of push animated from CLS, and then OTR reacted to it. And Dan went off the front. It sounded like she had three identified. She wanted to go off the front, and they maybe weren't quite able to do that. So
yeah.
Looks like they do have some games they want to play, but as when we push the pace, it's not always to play those games.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a reminder, I mean the finish on this course is going to be it's a pretty long drag, so it'll be kind of interesting. They're going to come. It's when they come around this square, right? It's the normal finish there.
Right. So we have another 100 meters, 200 meters here, and then you'll make a right-hand turn, and then you got a square. You're right, and you go under the bridge. So you do have that one little feature where you come out of the bridge where you could get one rider and tries to go use it as that exit a tunnel to go long. But I would expect that unless they're trying to lead out with sacrifice a rider as a potential lead out, you'll see it come to that last turn we're going by right now, where they really take off.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised how much these teams are sticking together. I mean, it seemed like CLS tried to have a go, OTR tried to have a go, and as we see someone go off the front a little bit now. But it's interesting to see what's going on.
Right, I think you're seeing the effect of very, very experienced Zwifters. A lot of these guys have been on Zwift for 3, 4, and 5 years, and you're seeing that experience play in where they know how to keep it stitched together really well. Yeah,
it reminds me a lot of the Finesse Dirt 6v6 that we had, where I mean every single person went to the line and it came down to a sprint.
Yeah, absolutely. Another one where there was some really experienced Zwifters in.
Yeah. So who's your pick here, Ryan? Who wins this in the sprint?
I'm going to stick with my man Dan Larson. He and I go back a long ways to going head to head in a bunch of sprints. So I'm going to take the emotional pick on this one and jump with Dan.
I like it. I got to say, after seeing Tyler's sprint in, I'll say in real life, but in Zwift life, I know he has a big kick. But if I'm CLS, I'm gonna probably try really drill on this hill. I'm gonna try to drop these guys. If I'm the CLS DS, I don't want it to come down to a sprint just because, I mean, OTR does have a couple of really high level sprinters, and CLS has some good sprinters, no doubt. But you know, when you're talking about guys with 15, 16 watt per kg, that's a tough ask if you know, unless you can really tire them out.
Absolutely, yes. You know, I forget, there is one guy in OTR here that's got an interesting side story while we're watching him kind of just play easy. So Max was Szymanski. When he first came over to Zwift, he'd taken, I don't know, 20 years off the bike. I think that was at the end of 2018. He hasn't taken a day off the bike since. I think he's rode every single day at least an hour.
Really? Wow. Yeah, that's what I aspire to be, but instead I take a couple days off a week and eat gummy bears that I have sitting here that are in theory to fuel me on the bike, but in reality to fuel me when I'm sitting here working or something.
All good intentions go to bad purposes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I think what we're going to do on this next hill, I want to hear what CLS is doing, see how they're going to attack this. So yeah, maybe let's hop over to their comms now, and we'll sit with them all the way through the hill.
All right.
Yeah, just past that crossing. Might need, you know, okay, that's about 600 meters.
Yeah. Y'all want me to try to keep the pace up the hill up? Yeah. So again, this time. Just 4 miles to go, guys. All right, guys, I'm going to go try to tire your legs up the hill.
Okay.
Let them chase, Yost.
Yeah, keep going, Rob. Just throw the pace in front. Let them react.
Yeah, here they come.
21 going.
Two. Got two sitting at the back. You just sit in there, Darren. You're on that first guy's wheel.
Don't interfere with Arsenal.
Don't panic. We can catch him on the downhill. We just need to make sure that we roll on the downhill. It's okay to blob on the hill. We'll roll them. We'll roll them up. Those guys are sitting in front. Just don't panic. Nice job, guys. Stop, Dan, Mac. Kind of start rolling.
Fine. One guy on blob.
Yes, it's one guy versus the blob. Be attentive for their guys. Once this guy gets sewn up, be prepared potentially for their other teammates to attack. So we should be able to roll him up coming down this hill. He doesn't have any speed. He's one of their lighter guys, so we should be able to just kind of roll him up. Dan's saying don't panic.
You're on mute, Rick.
Sorry, I loved what CLS did there, sending Rob off the front, and that was a hell of an attack. He was 400 plus watts for a long time, and I loved the advice Rebecca was giving as she talked them through to not panic as you see this kind of stitch back together.
Right, and that one concern she said, watch for CLS to attack over the top when they do bring them back. That's exactly what I was thinking as they started the downhill section.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, if you're OTR, it is a bit of a shame that it gets stitched up like that. That he can't try to make that attack off the front for longer, because it'd be cool to see stuff like that rewarded. You know, as we come to the last couple K here.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate dynamics of how Zwift is works with the downhills. I know I've been caught in the same situation where I love to animate things go off the front. Similarly to me or to Rob there, the pack runs me down.
Yeah, I'm always the guy in the pack.
But I believe this is our last lap.
Yeah. Yeah, they're coming up
So
on the
we
finish.
We are about 2.5, 3K from the finish right here. So I would expect to see these teams really, the ones at CLS in particular, that maybe don't have they have sprinters, maybe not the level of sprinters that OTR does with King here. Maybe try and keep animating and attacking it. They do have the numbers with the 6 versus 5, so maybe they can try and send 2 guys off the front, make CLS chase or OTR chase, and possibly set up one of their sprinters for something over King.
So if it's me and I'm going to send somebody off the front, I send them off the front on that little on the uphill after the bridge. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. That would be where I would try to animate it. That way you're not forcing your guys to go too long as well. Actually give them a shot with that move off the front to go all the way to the end.
Yeah. So I see a lot of comments in the chat from OTR. Do you want to listen to the OTR stream as we go into the finish?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So as we get closer here, I want to hear what OTR is talking about, how Rebecca's coaching these guys up.
Nice job, guys. Got everybody finished strong. It's on the top 3, but 4th is the tiebreaker. Yeah, we do have some lap traffic we're coming up on, to make sure we don't get sucked into the sticky draft. We got our 3 to be attentive coming out of the tunnel. And then we got our 2 to light it up at the end there. The 3rd person. You have that arrow helmet. Let's use that to our advantage in the sprint too. Okay. So we might, Max maybe sit a little bit and try to use that arrow helmet for the sprint, since we do need 3.
Yeah.
So be prepared for a little punch out of here. Make sure you get around that lap traffic. Nice job.
Painter's going.
Go. Dan's there. Shut it down. Get on them. Nobody panic. Just get toward the front. We got less than a K to go, or just about a K to go. Try not, if you're one of our sprinters, try not to get slung shot off the front. You want to come from behind a few bodies back. Nice job, guys. Looking good. Okay, keep an eye on it. This guy's kind of rolling. Dan should be able to shut it down, but he is going, so he's going from a long ways out. Come on. Nice job, guys. From long, but hopefully we can shut it down. Got a couple of other guys coming. Sit on their wheels, Craig. Don't come around them. Okay. Time to, Dan's starting to roll it up. Come on, go with him. Nice job, Craig. Sit. Come on. Come on. Everybody in. Go. Come on. Nice job. Go. Sprint. Now. Come on. Everything now. Go. Come on, guys. Nice job. Nice. Come on. Nice. Strong. Finish. Come on. All in. Nice job, guys. Keep it rolling. Keep it going. How was it?
Well, that was quite a finish. That was awesome. I loved getting to hear Rebecca there. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, it was kind of. I think CLS did exactly what we expected them to. Is they took it from the tunnel, and then they put the hurt in the legs of those sprinters from OTR. I was actually watching King on my screen, and he didn't have the pop to get up there with them.
No, yeah, and I mean I thought that was beautifully executed by CLS, especially who did they send off the front at first? Was it King? Who went
I
off?
believe it was King, yes.
And then they sent Uman off the front and forced OTR to chase. That was just
it was an amazing lead out.
Yeah, it was really fantastic. So kudos to both teams. I mean, that was about as well executed race as you could expect from any team. So that was super fun. Yeah, so let's hop in. We'll go to CLS. Let's talk to them first, and then we'll talk to OTR after that.
All right.
Well done, guys.
CLS, how's it going? That was beautifully executed. Was that the plan all along?
Thank you, guys.
Well, no, not really.
It was the plan was flexed slightly, but we did want to at least attack a little bit early because of the uphill and the downhill, and we got some guys with strong 1 minute power.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved almost like the dual attack. It was Rob who went off first, right? And then Ooze came over the top. That was really, that was super cool. And then, so I don't know if we saw on stream, we saw one of your guys won. Who was it? Who won?
I think it was Darren. It would have been Darren.
Okay. Man, fantastic. So what did you guys think? Tell us about your experience.
This is Rob. I'll take it. OTR is very, very strong. Two evenly matched teams on a flat course. It wasn't a ton of opportunity to try different things, but kind of waited on the last lap. First couple laps just warmed up the legs a little bit, but we kind of talked about that finish, and it played out like we envisioned it. So that was good.
Yeah, and Rob, you threw down a really good attack on the hill in the last lap there. Was kind of hoping to see someone across the bridge from either team, see if you couldn't get a breakaway going, get a 1-versus-1 going to the finish.
Oh yeah. Well, I know my strength is not sprinting, so I figured, and we were up a man, so could afford to do something stupid and just see what happened. And that was kind of my approach. You know, and hopefully make them chase. And they did. So I guess it worked in that sense. But yeah, I just tried to go hard up that hill. I like those. Anyway,
Yeah, and you
team really-
that last. I would say that what you did there for that last sprint, I actually was watching King on my screen. When you guys started stringing it out there, you forced them to use Larson to stay on you. That would be someone I would consider one of their sprinters. You forced him to use them, burn him to chase you guys down, and then King didn't have the legs after chasing you guys up that hill. So I wouldn't say that was a stupid move with you running off the front. That was actually that worked really well to tire out their sprinters and give you guys the ability to use those 1 minute powers.
Yay. Yeah, Larson and King were on our radar, people to watch. And our sprinters kind of knew, keep an eye, and they did great. Darren Hugh went the early sprint, and then held on for third or fourth. And Darren and Bruce brought it home. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was amazing racing. We could tell there was a lot of experience on both sides, and I'll tell you guys, you got a lot of support here in the stream. I see someone for Just, you have just a huge thing of your name with tons of letters in it. So people loved that attack off the front. Lots of good stuff. And yeah, and Tim Eaton, he said, don't sleep on Darren and Hugh. So yeah, he proved to be correct. So great job, fellas. Really appreciate you joining the 6v6, and we look forward to maybe a rematch here at some point.
I would love it.
Thanks for organizing.
Good, Rick.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thanks, Rick.
Yes.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks,
Yeah, there was one point in the middle of the race where Tyler jumped across a wheel and he probably didn't need to.
It's okay.
Hey, OTR. Great race, everybody.
Yeah, they did good. Craig it was close. The CLS was really strong. They threw some good attacks, especially at the end there. We used Dan to burn a match there, but you know, they did a good job. It was a good fun race to watch.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it looked like a tough one to ride. They really made it tough up that last hill. It looked like.
Yeah, they did. It was good. They threw one of their guys, and you know, you always sit there and think the blob could get him on the downhill. We have gone too hard too soon, but overall it was a fun race to have them go.
Yeah, I thought your tactic there, we were sitting and listening, you know, it took some guts to be like, hey, don't worry, you'll catch him on the downhill, because that was a pretty sizable gap, and especially with the new pack dynamics going on. So that was an excellent call.
Well, I have to give credit to Dan. I was panicking a little bit. Dan's like, it'll be fine. I'm like, but. No, but the mass of the blob does make a big difference.
Yeah, so yeah, racers, what did you think of the format and the race? And you know, we're predicting you guys might want a rematch.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Dan probably does. He's muted. Craig wants a rematch.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
sure.
I don't know what that final gap was, but I want it back.
It was close. It was close. Yeah, that was.
We don't want a rematch today. That's
and that sprint's hard to time too.
We were thinking we should have chased slower.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looked like,
But it's
from what I was
great.
watching at the end there, CLS definitely said we have 1 minute powers and we want to use them. Made you guys chase, go on the back foot there, and then on my screen I was actually following King, so I wanted to see what kind of big numbers he was throwing down. But it looks like they were putting you guys in hurt before the sprint started. So.
Yeah, they rolled pretty good there. I think hindsight, Dan was saying maybe we should have waited to chase them a little bit longer, and chase smoother. So we caught him about 50 meters to go, because that allowed their sprinters to start sooner. But you know, there's always ways to look at how races went, and kind of do it a little bit differently. But it was awesome. They did good. It was a good hard team to race.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Well,
Max, how many days in a row is this for you on the bike?
It's somewhere around 800 something. I don't know. The last day off
What?
I had was January 30th, 2019.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I've been on a bike ever since.
yeah, well, kudos to you. Kudos to the whole team. We really appreciate everybody racing and you know, sharing your videos and stuff like that. And yeah, we'll look forward to that rematch.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
All right. So yeah. So every time we switch around on Discord, it turns off our video. So I apologize for the slight things there. But yeah, Ryan, final thoughts on the race. What did you think?
You know, I expected the course maybe to animate the race a little bit more with that hill. Or to some extent, I think the racers themselves were maybe making it seem like it didn't. But yeah, that finish line, it was really cool to see that lead out train. I don't think we've seen one of those quite like that on one of our streams yet. Even when we've had the big groups come to the finish, it's been more of a sit and wait as a group. So that was really cool to see a really well executed lead out train for a finish for a change. I really enjoyed to see that. I think this format really plays well for the ability to do something like that.
Yeah, I loved that. I love the finish there, especially for this sort of format. I wish we could like chunk up different courses and stitch them all together or something like that. But yeah, so yeah, Ryan, thank you for joining us. Thank you to everybody who watched. I know we had a lot of viewers here, a lot of comments. We really appreciate it. If you're looking for us on social, you can find Ryan at Ryan McGee 38. You can find me at No Breakaways. I don't post a lot on Instagram, but I'm trying to come into the early 20th century soon. Yeah, so Ryan, anything else you wanna say before we go?
Just thanks to everybody for joining, the racers, all the folks watching. So it's just a good one. I enjoyed it.
And if you enjoyed it, click like and subscribe below. Go watch the Cobbled Climbs course preview and get ready for that race. Should be a pretty difficult one. And good luck to everybody. Thanks for tuning in.